think I'm in love, but sometimes
Hi, friends. Host Eric here, talking with French people. I'm here with my beloved Rachel Epalosa.
Hi.
Together, we form the core of a live stream package that wows the socks off of everybody within a 10,000 mile radius. It's a pretty big radius.
It is.
You know,
It is.
I wasn't planning on streaming right now, but I'm kind of killing time before the USC football game comes on.
Yeah. So why not stream?
You are the first Gen X you. And I thought, hey, I'm going to listen to that advice that all those TE people are always giving me. Remember, Eric, you got to include some typology shit in the title. That's how you maximize outcomes. So tonight's title is Typology Title Maximizes Outcomes. Let's find out if it's true. We'll find out. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Is it?
Hi, David Sanderson.
How's the coffee?
It's fantastico.
My type is INFJ. What's yours? Yes, Octavio Silva. You haven't seen it. It's turquoise. Thank you, H.
Does look pretty great. I tell you, we were driving down the freeway to go to the weed store, and we were rocking out in the car. I thought that was pretty cool.
Oh, thanks, Faye.
Made me feel more like a, that a little bit more of the youth culture-y aspects of talking with famous people are represented on Rachel's head.
Thank you.
Which is good enough. It's good as any place to put it, right?
Yeah,
On top of
I
your
think
head.
so. I mean, I like it on top of my head.
Yeah, I like it there too.
Thanks.
You know, she could have dyed her face that color and left her hair the same. I prefer this approach.
Yeah. I did it myself.
Why, thanks,
Thank you, Avatar.
Chinese character.
Jason.
And thanks, Chinese character.
Yeah.
How do you pronounce your name, Chinese character? Is it T with legs? Is it double K? Tree, huh? You just emailed me. Oh my gosh.
It's
That
Japanese.
is so exciting.
Hey, Legends Fall.
Rachel, guess what?
What?
I have an email waiting from David Sanderson. Can you believe it? I am so excited.
No, you don't get enough.
I don't get enough emails, for sure. I'm just teasing you, David Sanderson. Of course, I'm always thrilled to look at your emails.
I haven't been going through your emails because
You've had your phone.
Yeah.
It doesn't suit her well. It suits her well. What is going to happen when you're using the green screen to produce some terrifying results?
Well, actually, when we use the green screen, it turns more blue. It looks more blue. See?
Yeah. Right now, we're green screen free.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we have a green screen, but we don't have it turned on to color filter thing, whatever it is. I've gotten pretty agreeable to getting emails, and I typically try to respond to them. I'm not email phobic like I used to be. It seems like.
No, you have been responding to a lot of them, actually.
Yeah, I check my email, which I didn't used to do. I always was afraid that it'd be an email I didn't want to see in there. But
I know.
Now I just go, whatever.
Same.
I'm less
Hey,
frightened
grass
of
eater.
it. Hi, grass eater. Oh my goodness!
Ooh,
what was
rumble.
that sound? Was that my buttocks, or was that the ground? I'm phobic of your emails.
Of yours?
Did I not respond to you or something? I might not. I mean, sometimes I don't respond to people.
There are phases, just like the moon,
phases.
everyone.
Yeah.
Just like the moon.
You just talking to the void when you email me? Well, I will admit that there was a stretch of time, maybe a couple weeks ago, where I had a bunch of unresponded to emails, and I had marked them all red and said, "There." Maybe yours were among them. That's possible. You know, I was leaving them unread for a long time, so I eventually get to it, and then I just was like, I marked them all unread. I haven't thought about them since. All of a sudden, they're totally different things than they were before. It's just that simple. What are the most popular email services? We're just called email.com. Then
Rachel
that would be the case, I guess. So mini streams? Well, listen. When a man needs to speak his mind about important things, then he streams.
I forgot that we had even streamed today, honestly.
That was Delilah streaming.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I got to stream, really, you know?
This is true.
I enjoy it. I like hanging out with Delilah, but very much about Delilah, you know? And it's pretty important for me to talk about me a lot, too. So, you know.
Hambone, do you picture Eric's face in the moon?
That feeling when you fart in your room and someone knocks and you open the door but you can't get close to them so the smell won't follow. I don't have that feeling. I just say, "Hey, everybody, I farted." I may try to burn it with my propane torch sometimes.
Yes, he is a gentleman. He really is.
On top of it, but it depends what I'm doing with my hands at the time and if they're busy. I remind you of the Pokemon Victini. A running fox reminds Tree of the Pokemon Victini. What are the defining qualities of the Pokemon Victini? I would suspect Walter White's probably an INTJ.
That was my guess when I was watching the show too. I couldn't tell what Jesse Pinkman was, but I knew that Walter White was an INTJ. Is INTJ.
Hey.
Yeah, ISFP is Jesse Reeve, I think.
Octavia Silva, I hope that doesn't include any reference to Bulbasaur. You know Bulbasaur is a big trigger for me. Ever since he mugged me in an alley one night. It caused me to have a panic attack. I know Bulbasaur is the worst of the Pokemon.
He would do that.
People think he seems like a nice guy. People are dissing like Team Rocket and Meowth and stuff, but it's Bulbasaur you gotta watch out for.
He's a mean dude.
He's a sociopath.
Bulbasaur is a sociopath makes me so happy for some reason.
It's like,
yeah, Grassy, you're right. Eric did say ISTP once because we weren't really sure. Because he does seem like an ISFP. But I think we lean more towards ISFP now, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure which one.
Yeah, he's hard. He wasn't.
ISFP makes sense. The thing is, what I wanted to say was this. I wanted to say that there was something very important.
I can only think about Bulbasaur now.
Bulbasaur is on my mind, naturally. Who doesn't spend a lot of time thinking about Bulbasaur? And that's the kind of questions I don't get enough around here. What personality type is Bulbasaur?
You don't get that enough.
People think Pokemon don't have personality types. They do.
They do.
Bulbasaur, he's obviously an ENTJ.
You're welcome, Grass Eater.
Hi, Lauren and Nicole. Hi, Lauren McGinley. Hi, Joey. Hi.
Thanks, Lauren.
Yeah.
Thanks, Lorna. Thank you.
Tree, are you telling me that I remind you of your unborn child? You don't even know your unborn child yet. How can I remind you of them?
Alan Brian, they do have personality types. Have you tried to type them?
The Teletubbies?
I haven't.
No, I haven't said Teletubbies. Who's Umbreon? I'm assuming it's not your unborn child.
Gus is I thought Gus was an INTJ as well, but
yeah, I think Gus is an INTJ as well, but I don't think that they have somewhat different affects. Walter White's in a much different puggity pow situation than is Gus. Like Gus is settled into his shit, right? Whereas Walter's scrambling.
Yep. He's such a great character.
I will say that Pokemon is the original source of Andrew Luck, Ethan McDonald, is the original source of the expression I sometimes use with Rachel or the cat. I'll say, "Your beauty is constantly re-astonishing me again for the first time forever without stopping." Well, that's really an extreme variant on the sort of thing that Brock says to Nurse Joy. Nurse Joy, I'm constantly astonished by your beauty. And then she goes like, "That'll be 5 yes, please," or whatever, you know. Yeah, I think Andrew Luck's an ENTP. I do. So there's another NE Dom. I also think that explains why he quit football. He couldn't handle the SI challenges. It's his complaint was he was injured too much. He was in pain too much. He didn't like recouping from injuries. It's like that's textbook ENTP move.
Hey, Susie.
Susie, hello. Will you be doing any thinking that's not extroverted today? Oh, I see. You're doing introverted thinking. My mistake. I should have read your name first. It's my bad.
Me too.
Because did you see how extroverted thinking my title is? It's just like what everybody keeps telling me. Eric, you need to put typology in the title and maximize results.
I agree with Hambone. The fans weren't always nice to him either, despite all that he did for the team. Booze when he retired. Yeah, I know it was tough for Andrew Luck.
He's got to give it a year or two, and then when he comes back, he'll be a returning hero again. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Just the way shit goes. Eric, is it possible for an ISFP to emotionally be constipated and unwilling to engage in evaluating their own actions and emotions due to trauma, or would that be more STJ behavior? I mean, you're asking me questions about your area of expertise here, Octavia Silva. I really have no idea what it would be like for an ISFP to be emotionally constipated. I don't even know what it's like for me to be emotionally constipated. I know what it's like for Rachel to be emotionally constipated because she basically says that to me. Like, I really need to cry right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't have any idea. I'm extremely emotionally regular in the sense that I can cry at the drop of a hat. We were smiling in this thumbnail, Joey. God, everybody's a critic. Everybody's a critic. You happen to need some outcomes? What kind of outcomes do you want? You want positive outcomes or negative outcomes? Would you like ordinary outcomes? For example, going to the store and purchasing a loaf of bread and having the outcome be attaining a loaf of bread. That'd be a pretty ordinary outcome.
Mm-hmm.
What makes a function instrumental or absolute in its value? Well, there's a couple ways to answer that question. So the sort of mechanical answer is whether it's an odd number or an even number. So the odd numbers are absolute, the even numbers are instrumental. If you're saying what qualifies as absolute or instrumental, what's the difference between those two terms? The difference is something that you value instrumentally is not valued unless it leads successfully to an absolutely valued goal. So in other words, well, a simple example is no matter how well I run down the field to receive the pass in soccer and I'm in position to receive the pass and score a goal, if when the ball is kicked to me, I bobble the ball and boot it out of bounds instead, my excellent run is to no avail and there's no point. It's purely instrumental. If it doesn't end up with an outcome, then it's of no value. And people treat their functions like that as well. So for me, a novelty, extrovert intuition, ideating, talking, live streaming, is an absolute value in and of itself. I just appreciate doing it. FE, same thing. NI, same thing. FI, same thing. But the other values are only useful to me when they serve some other purpose. Although SI is sort of absolutely valued, and certain aspects of NI are not. Sorry, you were going to say, I'm sorry, I cut you off.
No, you needed to complete that thought. And I was actually just being selfish because I wanted to answer Lorna Nichols' question. She asks you, how do ISTPs act when stressed? Can I answer that?
I think you're better qualified to answer it, frankly.
So one, I think sometimes they get really down on themselves when they're stressed. They get really down on themselves. And that produces like an internal, a lot of internalizing. And because they're internalizing, they tend to lash out. So it's like, it'll seem like others, like when you're stressed, you're like secluding. It almost looks like you're like sad. You may be. But it comes out like lashing out.
Dave Sanderson says he thinks Eminem's an INTP. I think Eminem's an ENTP, but if I'm wrong, he's an INTP. He's definitely not an ISTP. People keep saying that because he comes across as an ISTP in interviews. If you see him interviewed, it's not an incorrect conclusion based purely on his affect to say best guess ISTP. But that's a sculpted act that has to do with the hip-hop community when he came up in it and the importance of being hard and stuff like that. But that's not representative of how he goes through life operating in his head. He's doing a lot of ideation all the time, and he's super FE aware. Like, he makes some mistakes occasionally, but by and large, he's in front of that shit. Is a function instrumental to a particular function or all functions? No, it's instrumental to the person. So what I mean by a tool function being instrumental is, for me, logical consistency is how I accomplish other things. It's not something I accomplish. And for some people, it is something they accomplish. So for Rachel, she starts with an NI holistic truth, and she accomplishes a TI defensible truth. For me, I start with a random idea, and I end up with something that's FE appealing, or FE works on, at least for some portion of people. My way I get there is TI. Her way she gets there is FE.
Yep.
Which values are absolute, which ones are instrumental? As a basic rule, odd numbers are absolute and even numbers are instrumental. However, I have concluded as well that to have a fully accurate accounting of the matter, you have to take into account whether or not you value it absolutely or instrumentally in real time and or in turn-based means. So in other words, like, for example, I think I value SI as an absolute function on the territory level, and I don't value it as an absolute function on the map level. I value it as instrumental. And I think opposite with NI. I value it as an absolute function on the map level, and I don't value it or don't think about it at all, really ignore it on the physical level. So in other words, if you take me to the hunting range and say, wait till the right moment to release the arrow. Let you be one with the arrow. And oh no, Eric, no, oh shit, Eric, you scared away all the deer and you didn't even come close to hitting any of them. I'm sorry, it was an accident. Yeah. All right, everybody, hunting trip's over. Eric fucked it up. That's my hunting trip, right? That's my NI.
That's why you like are so forgiving with me too.
Mm-hmm. I countervalue NI in the physical realm, but not exactly countervalue it, but I don't expect myself to be good at it. If I'm not, it's okay. I kind of do absolutely value it. Like, for example, let's say I'm playing basketball and there's that moment where you realize that you've successfully juked to one side and released a nice shot, and you can just tell already this going in, and it's just smooth and clean, it just goes pop. Well, I mean, that's NISE conjoining, right? You released everything about the ball, your SE you were doing was at the right time, right moment. It's what the defense allowed, so to speak. It's what the game presented to you. All that stuff is the NI component of real-time SE. And that's the part that I tend to not treat as an absolute value. At least I don't pursue it. I don't seek opportunities to experience that.
Sean Ryan Barron, I did color my hair. Thank you. I actually was thinking about how you like to color your hair while I was doing it. Because, like, yesterday I was like, should I do it? Should I not? And I thought about people who dyed their hair themselves. And I thought of Delilah and I thought of you. And I was like, you know what? I've had enough experience with it that I can do it myself. And yeah, so thank you.
Because you cannot show your screen on YouTube in case you want to play a game or show something? Well, the point would be I'd be streaming on Twitch using the OBS software, which would allow me to presumably show things beyond this on Twitch. But I wouldn't in general want to, I'd want to do the same stream on both things. I don't understand how there's a difficult way around that.
It's funny. I downloaded. So Sean Ron Barron, my phone is dead. So that's why I haven't been on Instagram. I'm going to next time I'm on Instagram. I'm going to premiere my hair. Yeah. So right before my phone died, I actually downloaded Discord because I wanted to see what it was about. I'm like, what is this place? It seems very like vague.
Eric, have you ever considered opening a Discord server? I hear this all the time. I mean, I've encouraged other times people to say, if you want to open one, go ahead, open it. I think somebody did at one point and nothing happened. And then it's like, I'm not going to participate in it. But, my basic take on a Discord server is that I stream enough that to the extent that people are having conversations there, it's as likely as not to detract from the population of the stream. Now, It's like I have a private Facebook group you're welcome to join. Is this a good description of FI using your psychological relationship towards an object as a basis for judgment? Well, I mean, I wouldn't use the expression psychological relationship. I would say personal relationship towards an object. Now, keeping in mind that object can include agent, subject, or object. I would say using your personal relationship towards an object as the basis for judgment. I wouldn't say psychological though. So in other words, your interest in it, using your interest in the matter as a means of adjudicating the thing.
You have a server?
The thing is, I really do like the idea that David Sanderson pitched, and am interested in trying it, of concurrently live streaming on Twitch and YouTube. So like how I'd be able to do that is, I guess, I mean, I could try to set it up right now and just, I mean, this is how shit like this happens. Okay, well, I'm currently live streaming, so of course now is a great time to try to do this because, well, it's less boring than other contexts.
FE reasons, is it?
I guess FE reasons, yeah. Okay, so Twitch, huh? Let's see.
Yeah, I don't know what Twitch is about either. Here.
TWITC. TWITCH. 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 Okay.
I was just live streaming.
I will sign up.
Thank you.
I will sign up. Okay, so I'm going to sign up with my name as, should I make it just TWFP, my username, or talking with famous people? I don't know if I have enough.
Yeah, I don't know if you have enough either. What?
Talking with famous people. There.
Nice.
Perfect. Okay. Okay, I'll use the suggested password. I'll put in my birthday with the meow and the meow. And the meow and the meow. Put in the old email address, as they say.
Mm.
And I'm going to sign up as per meow. Sending me a 6-digit code to my email address. So I'm going to go ahead and open that up with my email bone.
I like that. I like your email bone.
Thanks. I usually open my email mostly.
Oh.
Verify my account. 82 meow. Meow, meow, meow. I'm going to say it. No, I'm not going to say it out loud because I don't want somebody sneaking in here and taking over my meow.
Yeah.
Let's cherish this brief moment together. I like that. That's clever, Twitch. You're clever like that. Choose some interests. I don't really want to watch people on Twitch. I just want to make things on Twitch.
It's kind of like that.
I know.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Quiet.
I don't like things that
Quiet.
preview like that.
Quiet.
Yeah.
Quiet. Okay, fine. Now, let's see. How do I do a chat? Let me go home again. That home?
Yeah.
All right. Get rid of this. Okay. So, with get bits. How do I stream? I don't know how to stream. It doesn't say how to stream at all.
Go to the little man.
Okay, little man.
Yeah, press a C.
Okay, offline, online, channel. Edit, update your stream schedule. Update my stream schedule. You gotta be crazy. Copy. Let's see if we can do this. It'll be fun.
It should be.
Okay. Now I'm going to put this in the old set of roos. So I know it's got to be very boring for everybody watching this. I'm so terribly sorry. But in a second, it's going to be paid off in a major way because what you're going to see here is something pretty special.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah, please do. Connect account, use stream key. Meow. Piao. Connect account. Okay, I'll try to connect account. Talking with famous people. My password is supposed to be saved by Google Chrome. Google Chrome is supposed to fill it in automatically.
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
I know, unfair.
Come on, you guys.
It's 2020.
We can do better than this.
Yeah.
You're better than this, Google. All right, settings. Passwords. What's this one called? Twitch. Look at the password. Put in my other password. Come on. Come on. Come on. There we go. Is that 5? Yes. And do more stupid stuff. Come on.
I think it's saying no.
It's being very slow.
Oh.
Sad things, you would have had viewers. If what? If only I weren't such a lame-o? Is that what you're saying?
I saw this from before.
What is going on here with the Mia is the question. That, of course, is the real question that we all need to know. Is what is going on with the Mia?
Yeah.
There. Fine. Come on.
You can do it. Oh, it's just being slow.
Okay. Copy. Now, yeah. The what? Yeah. I'm going to put the yeah in here as follows, and then put the yeah. Oh, for Christ's sakes. I gotta verify again with another one of these codes.
Oh, I tell you about the codes.
It's like, will they ever get over this code thing?
I don't think so. They love the codes.
They do. They're obsessed with these codes. Okay, Mr. Cody Pants. Let's get the code. 131. Where am I supposed to put the code in? 131674. 131674. 131674. Okay, click to authorize. Yes, I trust OBS Studio. It's my very favorite. My very favorite streaming software. Okay, so now let's see. Let me do the old apply-roo, and the old OK. Now I've got display capture on, as you can see. And what I'm thinking about doing is putting a title right here called Eric's Super Double Live Stream. That's not a good title, Eric. Eric's first Twitch stream. Category. Entertainment. Sounds like games, huh?
Yeah.
Just talking? Talk shows, yeah. Talk shows and podcasts.
Yeah.
There we go. And update information. Like that. And then we're gonna, I guess, start streaming like now. And stop recording like now. Now, let's see if this will work for me. Ultimately, I'm back over here now. I've got this stream going on, and I've also got the, let me get the chat of if I can get the chat up separate from this. I need this chat here. No, wait, this is not the chat. I close this. I want this chat. Oops. Okay, that's fine. And then I want this to go. Wait, I want this whole thing though. No, I want this undock. Undock this. There, yeah, there we go. Okay, now we see we've got my Twitch stream going on. We've got on Twitch, I'm very autumnal, and so is Rachel. Here on YouTube, we're not so autumnal. Great. So now I'm streaming on Twitch.
I like the rainbow running fox.
Look at that. 1v1 me. You want me to verse you? You want me to verse? I guess you can hear me on that stream too, right?
Yeah.
Versus you? At what? Live streaming? Are you saying you're expecting me to be gaming on Twitch?
You did say you were a podcast talk show.
Yeah, I'm a podcast talk show, okay? I'm currently double live streaming. Talking to famous people is a wonderful television program on YouTube. And as you can see, I've got both of them going concurrently. David Sanderson, link you the stream. I'm not sure how you do that exactly.
Running Fox, do you remember
let's see if I can find it out.
Rainbow Bright?
How to link you the stream. I don't know. Does it say someplace? My channel is home. This is my channel. Oh wait, I'm ready to roll. Aren't I already streaming though? Am I streaming right now? Stream manager? Yes, I am live. I am live. I'm streaming, and here's my stream manager. Okay, and let's see if it shows. See, I think I'm not going to be able to see it unless, right, yeah, there you go. Okay, now you'll get to see the wonderful world of Chi, which is, wait, that's not what I want to do. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for this one. Piao, and there we go, that thing there. Okay, so you just want to stick your nose in Rachel's hair and squeeze her cheeks. You know, I got to tell you, to be perfectly honest, at least when she's first done with the dyeing of it, it has rather a strong chemical smell.
It does.
It still has a little bit of chemical smell.
Yeah, it's chemically when it's done because I used bleach first and then, dye. But I use vegan friendly, like non-toxic kind of like everything, and it was fabulous. I highly recommend Arctic Fox hair products.
James Spartan 117. Who are the 4 viewers on Twitch? I have no idea. I'd have to. I guess I need to. In order to do this, I need to do this and make it go small so that I could see things over here too. I guess this starts to make things pretty complicated. Maybe I'll just
vegan friendly.
Maybe I'll just leave this one where it was, or maybe move it down here like that. There we go. It still should be fine. I don't think I need to have it up to see it. Anyway, I'm not expecting to have a lot of action from Twitch because this is my very first live stream on Twitch. Sure. And this is my millionth live stream on YouTube. So I feel like you talk to me different when you don't know who I am, more FE. Well, that's true, James Spartan 117. I'm talking to people on Twitch a little differently if I encounter them there because I don't know if they're a Twitch person who just happened on my thing and doesn't know anything about me at all or not. So I'm assuming that I better operate under the assumption that they're actual Twitch people rather than operate under the assumption that they're not. Anyhow, who knows? If I were to keep up doing this and continually stream on Twitch concurrently while I'm streaming on live stream on YouTube, That's potentially, double the outcome with one effort. It doesn't. I like things that kill two birds with one stone. I don't like things that kill two birds with two stones. People are always telling me, which bird you should kill with which stone. And I go,
rude.
Do tell.
Please tell, because you're already going to,
But things that are that successfully say, how you could kill an additional bird with this stone you're already we're already meowing. I don't know how to I don't know how to get the link. It's not allowed or something? Am I not allowed to do this? Is there some reason why I wouldn't be allowed to do this?
No, you could, because Adult Swim does it, so you definitely would be able to do it.
Anyways, it's a different stream because it looks different. Like the background looks different because one of them's autumnal and one of them's not. This one is not autumnal. There's my channel, twitch.com or twitch.tv/talking with famous people. At least I got my own channel name. That's nice.
Yeah. And you can totally stream at the same time.
Less sensory overload over there. Space Cat 323. Haiku Bronzo. So now I'm just going to lose viewers on YouTube. And I'm going to go half my people via Twitch, half my people at YouTube. That's not good. That's just it. Look at that. 18 people now because probably like 5 people are over there who were over here,
Yeah. Would you like space?
No. Do I seem like I want space?
No, I was just suggesting it for the mouse.
Oh, the only reason I look sort of meowing about it is because it's on my left-hand side and I'm not left-handed.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's good, James Spartan 117. Good job contributing to my stats on both. Wow, actually being only one person. Appreciate that.
Oh, Space Cat. I feel like I remember you from YouTube.
Could be a different Space Cat.
Yeah, too.
One never knows.
Yeah, there's a lot of people with a lot of different names on.
What we remember is Space Cat Felicity or whatever her name was.
Yes.
Bed knobs and broomsticks and meow meow.
Meow meow.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of meow meow, where is meow meow?
She was sitting outside on a chair not that long ago.
Oh, I'm gonna go bother her.
You're RC on YouTube? Oh.
Oh, RC.
Space Cat is RC on YouTube. Wow.
Oh, I think she's in the house.
Now you're knowing the nonstop thrill of being able to watch me here and there, everywhere. Streams are better laid out at Twitch. It seems to be set up so that it interfaces with the OBS software better. That's for sure.
Yes, morale.
Oh, now I'm getting a phone call. That's my dad. Hello, Dad. Nothing? What's up? Yeah, this is Eric. Yeah, why? What's up with you? Oh, that was from days ago. That was about the doctor's thing. Oh, well, I don't know why it took so long to get there, but I sent that a couple days ago. That was when they called me and said you missed a doctor's appointment. And I said, no, he didn't miss his doctor's appointment. Okay, cool. Yeah, so that was an old message.
I am here to. Who has questions for an INFJ? I can help answer them. Hey, Winston's mom.
Okay, cool. I will look at the settings. I'll look at the settings under. I'll look at the settings on your phone when you get home. Okay.
Do you have so many questions? I could help answer some.
Nope. Everything's pretty straightforward. Yeah, we are too.
PP was in the house for quite some time.
All right, see you then,
I can't pinky swear that. I don't think he'll abandon his YouTube. Thanks, Winston's mom. I appreciate that. Yeah. Yeah, no. I don't think Eric would abandon YouTube. There's a community here, you know. Joey asks, Rachel, do you have any thoughts on how we can get divided social groups to gain more understanding of each other instead of attacking each other? This is something that I think about a lot, and I've thought about since I was like younger. One thing that makes me think about division amongst people's religion, and I like to think of it as if we look at the texts and we compare, there's actually a lot in common. There's a lot in common within the texts. So if we as a society can see, you know, the things that we have in common rather than the things that are different, so-called different, I think it may help for some social change, but it's okay. It's really difficult because it's easier said than done, because you have to put yourself in another person's shoes, and that's not always easy to do. Like, this girl got her finger bitten by a blowfish, and I hurt my hand yesterday on the
Blowfish.
Yeah, on the blowfish, on the food, and so I kind of like felt more sympathy towards her after getting burned. I'm like, damn, like this is hurting me so much. Imagine getting like bitten by a blowfish. Like, I should not be like so like crazy right now. Yeah, just like, so, you know, I think that it's more natural for people to be like, huh, that's not like me. But if we kind of like, you know, look at everything as a whole, we're more alike than we are different.
What do you mean if he gets banned, no big deal? Why would I get banned? Is it not allowed to do what I'm doing on Twitch or what? Is this somehow not allowed to stream concurrently on Twitch and YouTube?
Adult Swim does it. They announce it. They're like, hey, we're on YouTube and Twitch and blah, blah, blah.
I'm pretty sure YouTube allows it. Content? Oh, you mean you think I'm going to get banned because I curse too much or something?
Where? In Twitch?
Oh. I mean, I guess it depends on how fussy their algorithm is. So, yeah, it's like what David Sanderson says. If I get banned, I get banned.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. I'm not intentionally trying to be controversial or challenging. It's just sometimes that's where the jokes go, you know?
Yeah.
Vancouver Marine Mammal Center, where Joey the orphan seal otter concurrently streams on Twitch and YouTube.
Yeah. See. Okay.
Now
That's a second.
And you know, orphan
Number
seals are notorious for having filthy mouths. So if he didn't get banned by Twitch, maybe I won't.
So Winston's mom, about the Kool-Aid for dyeing my hair, I always wanted to do it because when I was little, I remember Kurt Cobain dyeing his hair red with Kool-Aid and being like, ooh, we have Kool-Aid in the house. I could do that. Because my hair was turned blonde when I was younger. So I knew that like my hair would take to the color. But my mom never let me. So I now do my hair whatever color I want.
Well, grass eater, I mean, the thing is, I have a nuanced position on it. So it's not like I'm sitting here. There's a desire amongst major media outlets like Twitch or YouTube or whatever to not be accusable of facilitating disinformation or misinformation. Nobody could possibly qualify anything I'm saying as disinformation or misinformation. They take a very measured approach on every topic.
Running Fox, highly recommend. And I've used Manic Panic before and was very disappointed. I just like vegan products because I feel like I just do, especially for hair. So I use their bleaching product, which was really great and vegan, and their colors are all vegan, and it shows you on their website the range of hair. So if you have like dirty blonde hair, it'll show you what it looks like with dirty blonde hair, you know, like it'll show you the scale of from light to dark of what the color will give you. And the color stays.
You know, you really don't want your hair dye to eat meat. You know, because meat eating hair dyes, they leave your hair greasy. It kind of starts to smell rancid after a while. I prefer to just go ahead and use the vegan hair dyes. The other thing to note is that when Rachel used Manic Panic, she neither felt manic nor panic.
No, I didn't.
And so that was the source of her lawsuit that said, hey, false advertising. Remember the Destiny thing we tried to do? I guess. What Destiny thing we tried to do? You mean I tried to get him to debate me? He didn't want to, I guess. You know? Are we nerdy bees? That's the real question. Hakubot says so. Says we are nerdy bees.
Nerdy bees. I do like bees.
Well, what happened then? I don't know, David Sanderson. We tried to debate. I don't know what Destiny thing we tried to do. You are Hakubot.
Oh, H is Hakubot. Cool.
I'm not going to cave in. You will never hear me advocate the wrong position because I think it's popular or something, or because I'm worried about it being, you know, irritating to somebody. Because the thing is, none of my positions are legitimately critiquable as disinformation, misinformation, partisan, meaggity meaz. Okay, well then contact them, David Sanderson. Why do you keep? What do you want me to do? I said, go ahead and contact them. Remember, I said, you put it on Reddit, you know, and you were like, and that's fine. I get that, but then, you know,
Running Fox. I'm telling you, Arctic Fox has like such a great range of colors, and it's in a tube this size. And so if you want to use it on your ends, you have a lot of product to use to re-dye your ends if you want them to be more saturated over time. It's like, and it like, I had color like all over my face last night, but it's pretty much gone. Like it doesn't stain your skin is what they say, and it doesn't.
You are giving me, you are just busting my balls nonstop, Dave Sanderson. So today, here's some things I did based on David Sanderson harassing me about it. Okay. I promoted the early lecture with Delilah on both Facebook and Twitter. I even set up a Twitch account so I could stream concurrently on Twitch and YouTube. And now he's busting my balls about how I didn't put something on Reddit to try to incite Destiny to debate me. And I said, you know what I told him? I don't even think I have a Reddit. If I do, nobody's going to read my Reddit because I'm brand new. I don't have any credibility on Reddit, right? Don't you have to have like a lot of points to get your thing put up on Reddit? Okay, well, all right then. Look, after this stream,
there are a lot of social networking.
You know what I mean? Look, the thing is this: it is absolutely the case that David Sanderson is right. He's got a great strategy for how to actually incur good impacts on Reddit with the thing he suggested. He wrote the whole thing. All I have to do is fill in the blanks. So I really can't say that anything bad except, all right, fine. Because when I just say, all right, fine, and do the thing, then, Dave Sanderson is just trying to help. And a lot of times he's right. Sometimes he just tells me things I already know what I'm doing. Chase McDude says he could post it for me. My FE seems easy to influence. I mean, not really. This isn't an FE being influenced here. It's TE. It's like I'm going, okay, you do need the TE, Eric. Come on, Eric. You know you need it. You know you need the TE. I don't know what's this whole deal. Like, the thing is, what affirmation do you think he makes that I can negate, or vice versa? That's really the question. Where do we disagree? Because I don't want to debate something that I don't. I will do it after this stream. Okay, Dave Sanderson? I will do it, or maybe even during this stream, but I can't do it during the stream now because I've got the software going. I don't want to open my email and show all my email and everything to everybody. Whether or not I'm going to continue to double stream, it's a tough question because at the moment it seems to just be dividing my stats in half. However, if in fact I started having independent people find me on Twitch and I get a separate audience there, then it makes sense. So the question is, how long do I sacrifice the stats on YouTube in order to garner some new people on Twitch, and if it's worth it? And that's a tricky question because I'm monetized on YouTube. I assume I'm not monetized on Twitch, but I don't know how that works on Twitch. Joey says, if you could take a pill that instantly doubles your competency to a certain cognitive function, would you take it? Are there any costs?
Sorry.
If there aren't any costs, then I do it for probably TE.
I would do it for SI.
SI wouldn't be bad.
That's what I would do it for.
We don't know the side effects
But
yet.
I don't want the side. See, that's the thing.
No.
Exactly.
I don't want to be your guinea pig.
No. I'm good being INFJ. My problems really, I feel like an alien walking around in this world, but in general, I really like my type. So, yeah.
And the reason she feels like an alien is because she has those big,
I love you too, PN.
the big eyes of the alien gray.
You know it, Running Fox. That's one of my favorite icons. Emojis.
Why does everyone here always ask me my type, says David Sanderson? Well, because David Sanderson, you are quite involved. You are a mover, a shaker, a doer, and a draker.
Yes.
You are to Drake as rap music is to Kitty Meow.
Oh, this makes for a nice family photo.
Nice family photo. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Nice family photo. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Isn't that a good song?
It's a really good song.
My goal someday is to be an influencer. And if I'm going to be an influencer and influence people to take on new trends like the nose scarf, then I'm going to need to be hip to the young people's platform. Things like Twitch.
It's true.
Where
You
the
are.
young people are moving and shaking, and they're making their way in the world with their talkings and their words. I'm going to be part of that movement. I'm going to be, yeah.
Yeah, go for it. You should.
Well, David Sanderson, I've long known, and it's long been the case that I get the worst numbers on the weekends. Consistently lower numbers.
People are off doing things. Morale. Oh, morale.
I didn't know that, grass eater. Don't particularly care since Trump's leaving office right now. Everyone else is streaming too.
Is he still helping?
Well, that's certainly quite possible. If there are any people who are at Twitch and who are new to this channel and who have any questions about who I am, what I'm doing, or you're welcome to ask them. This is a regular occurrence on YouTube. I stream all the time. I usually talk about personality types or philosophy or politics or whatever. And I just determined that it's possible to stream concurrently on both. So I'm like, well, why the hell not give it a shot? Couldn't hurt, I guess. It could hurt, but maybe probably unlikely to. So, I talk about every topic in the world, pretty much. If you have, for example, let's say you have a question about menstrual cycles. Well, Rachel's here. She can answer it. It's not just me, Even if it's a topic that I don't like to talk about at all, say menstrual cycles. Yep. Well, maybe that's because I'm not a girl. Let's say there's a topic about a celebrity I don't know about. Well, probably Rachel knows who that celebrity is.
Yep, I'm also here for that. Pop culture.
She's also here for your various NI frame stuff, such as tarot cards and astrology.
Mm-hmm.
In contrast, I tend to be more the politics, philosophy, personality type, psychology area of talking. I also sometimes just talk random nonsense I make up stories. Sometimes I make up ribald bedtime stories for non-minors, for adults.
Yes.
In those ribald stories, I'm not sure about that, David Sanderson. I'm not making that claim. I'm just saying it's possible, okay, that would be the case. But you're probably right, okay? I'm not a knower, remember? I didn't make claims conditionally. Is it better to die for the emperor than live for yourself? No. Better to live for yourself than die for the emperor.
Yeah.
I think that's fair enough.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, have you heard in the news, has Trump calmed down anymore about
I think he's still trying to claim that he's not conceded defeat or whatever, but I don't think that's going to do him much good. So what if I win a debate, defending a standpoint is wrong? Is that a win? Only in competition. So if I don't win the debate, if my kid wins the debate, debating the side of the resolution I don't agree with, that's a win for sure, because it's competition flow debate. It's switch side debate. But I wouldn't argue for something that I didn't believe in the outside world. I would be fine to coach someone about a given position and say, these are the these are the various arguments people are going to make, but I'm not going to actually make arguments that I think are not arguments that I uphold ethically, morally, or politically, or whatever. I'm going to try to be as honest as I can and precise as I can about articulating what I stand for and why. Let's see here. Shimmer Soul is a small community channel like this one. It's nice they have open mic. You want to do a crossover call-in episode and try your hand at their open mic? Well, what do they do in the open mic? Like, what kind of stuff do they open mic?
Can you do karaoke?
If you haven't been yelled at by a teacher or ostracized from church, you're not an INTJ. Well, we probably can't do karaoke because of copyright. Oh, okay, sure, yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
We've got
Here we
got
go.
about an hour, okay.
Yeah, because we gotta watch the games.
I'm watching the USC game at 7:30, so let me put this onto the old.
Oh, beauty. In the presence of a true queen. Yes, Cleo Strauss. Mommy and Daddy love you.
Okay, so here's a link for you. No, this isn't a typing session. Wants to argue with me about IQ and other things. So let me pull up the other chat as well. Kind of chilly, huh?
Yeah.
I'm gonna close that door right now.
Oh, morale. Morale.
Okay. So, let her rip. I guess I was having problems with the audio or what? Let's see. Trying to let them in. No, they're there. Why is that shared? Oh.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I don't know what I'm supposed to be looking at here in the center of the room. It's not showing. It's not showing whatever you're trying to show.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's fine. What do you, is it a document?
Actually, yeah, it's a Google Doc. I think I can just send the link probably.
Well, look, if you have it open in a tab, you can just share that tab.
No, I have to do it on my phone because I can't be on the computer. It's too loud down there. So.
Okay. Let me see what the audio is here. This is not getting any audio from there. Is that correct? Yes, that's correct. Okay. No, I do not have a limp. For whoever asked that question, I am limp free. Okay. So if you don't get a chance to share it, that's fine. We can just talk. It's fine. I don't really want to read a lot of stuff necessarily.
All right. So so some of the stuff that we had went over before was whether IQ is a measurement, whether IQ is absolutely relative or relatively absolute. And I think we also kind of talked about whether IQ is just a test by ex-NTJs or NTs to improperly assess legitimacy or not, like in a general capacity. So I went through all of your, or just all, not all of your videos, but all of the videos in which we discussed about this, looked at the claims you made, and I'm listing my response to them. These are like somewhat new responses, kind of, sort of, because I don't really remember all of the stuff I said. So I'm gonna go back, see everything that I had said before, see how it is different from what I'm saying now, and then I'll like write it all down so everyone knows like.
But just go ahead and start with the point.
Because I had said a lot of wrong
Just
stuff.
go ahead and start with the point, whatever point you want to start with.
Okay, so first I want to talk about the definitions that I think are notable.
Okay.
So, you should, so some of these I got from your video and stuff, just because like I agree with them and you already said them, so it just makes sense. So you said relative absolutum is this attains absolute status under certain conditions. You elucidated it by saying explicit frames show the implicit value of relative absolutism. Words are absolute in their expression, but relative in their meaning as it depends on the context. So yeah, I agree with that definition. You said absolute relativism, you're looking to empirics for a more efficient course against outcomes in the status quo. You elucidated by saying the meaning is absolute to the particular party and is distinct from the definitional constraints of relative absolutism. Again, I agree with that. And yeah, that's just more elucidation and stuff. Okay, so now we start getting into the claims, and I'm getting into my responses now. So you had said IQ defines intelligence. So my response to that is saying the definition, or definition means the meaning is the meaning we assign to a word or symbol. So IQ symbolizes or represents intelligence. So IQ is the word or symbol, and intelligence is the meaning. So it doesn't make sense to then say IQ defines intelligence. So do you agree with that?
Well, no, because IQ is a test, not a word that means intelligence. An IQ test tells you your intelligence quotient, which is your score on the IQ test. Now, people conflate that to mean intelligence in a general sense.
Mm-hmm. Can you say that one more time?
Sure. IQ means intelligence quotient, and it's the score you get on the IQ test. That's one thing. People think of it as being an approximate measure of intelligence, but they're very different things. Your score on the IQ test is very different than your general intelligence as we generally understand it.
No, right, but the score on the IQ test is supposed to be a representation of intelligence.
So if in fact it's functioning as that, then it's a definition, not a measurement.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay, fair enough. So the next claim is, you said, I don't like the idea of prioritizing symbols of competency when I can better determine the person's actual competency myself.
Yeah.
My response to that is, I have no doubt this is possible. So, but my question is, can you judge a person's potential competency across any objective domain without objectively measuring their intelligence?
I'm saying, well, the only thing I'm making the claim of in that particular instance is that if I'm evaluating whether or not somebody's qualified for a given position, let's say, I'm going to evaluate them on their qualifications holistically, and I would not presume that the person with the highest IQ score is going to be the best person for the position. And that's, I'm saying this is my approach. I'm not making any statements about IQ at all when I'm saying this. I'm saying personally, I believe I'm more capable of establishing somebody's competency by using my own intuition than by relying on symbols of competency such as college degrees, IQ scores, or other such symbols.
Okay. So you said intelligence in a colloquial sense is used to mean many different things. IQ, however, means what you scored on the test. So it either measures an arbitrary, and then you didn't say anything after that. So do you kind of sort of remember what you mean by?
Well, sure.
The,
yeah. What I'm saying is that the IQ test includes an assemblage of different skill sets that are considered to be in conglomeration to be a representation of the different kinds of cognition that comprise intelligence, right? But the problem is, of course, we could imagine configuring those intelligence tests in a lot of different ways. So if I were to make an intelligence test that prioritized creativity over, say, processing or pattern recognition, then obviously I'd score more highly than if I had one that prioritized spatial pattern recognition over verbal reasoning, in which case I'd score much lower. The thing is, which of our configurable approaches towards measuring so-called intelligence is actually measuring quote unquote intelligence? Well, that's why I'm saying, to the extent that we prioritize IQ as the meaningful definition of intelligence, then it's a definition.
Okay, I see. My response to that was just basically that intelligence just means one thing, and that thing is that it is the capacity to accurately model objects. So
okay, is the person who's best able to physically draw an object the most intelligent person? You mean model like that?
I mean, modeling in terms of, it doesn't necessarily have to be drawing or anything, but essentially, by any sort of expression they use to be able to denote a particular object that we tell them to denote. So if they get that correct, then
does the intelligence test measure your ability to draw a perfect circle?
Yeah, I guess that could be characterized as like a part of an intelligence test, yeah.
But the IQ test doesn't include that.
I mean, I'm not really talking about whether or not the current constructions of IQ tests accurately measure intelligence, though. So
the point is, intelligence represents a value that people intelligence is a value that people uphold or affirm or whatever, and different people call different kinds of things intelligence. There are two broad kinds of things that are called intelligence. One kind of thing is being able to determine the way to solve a problem or a clever way to accomplish an outcome. And that's a really smart way of doing that. For example, if I shake up the ketchup before I squirt it out, I don't get that ketchup juice first. And then you might say, well, that's a smarter way to do it than not shaking it up first. Okay, fine. That's one way we use the word smart. Another way we use the word smart is to say, well, he can parse out the meaning of all this complex legal language. He's smart like that. Another way we mean we take the meaning of the word smart is, oh, well, he can see these various clues and determine the singular answer to this pattern situation. So we mean the word in lots of different ways. And what we uphold as the ultimate correct meaning of the word intelligent is an indication of our own personal value preferences, not of any meaningful thing that we're disagreeing about the definition of.
I mean, I would just say that all of those different things are if they don't uphold to the definition that I gave, then all of those things are not
okay. But so then
they may be different other.
But then the most meaningful form of intelligence is diorama creation. That's the most intelligent person by your definition. So your definition is itself another example of you upholding some value as intelligent and others as not qualified as intelligent. And it's arbitrary. That's my point. It's an arbitrary definition.
I mean, I would say no, because of the fact that mine can actually be represented, can actually be tied to something that can be expressed.
Okay, but it makes the most intelligent people. It says this class of people is most intelligent, And that group of people that it identifies as most intelligent is unrelated to the group of people that the vast majority of people would call intelligent. In other words, people don't say, wow, you really do great dioramas. You're a genius. They say, wow, you.
I mean, yeah, but you're restricting it to that particular form of expression, though.
Well, you said model, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and this was actually part of the a question that I wanted to get to after we basically went through all of the points in terms of actually the implications of what that actually means, being able to properly model objects. I think, it may seem as though that it's like, well, it just means you're able to draw a circle, when in reality it actually has like profound implications on what it is that people are able to do.
First of all, I think you mean modeling a system of some sort, not so much an object. Now, granted, you could call a system a form of object, but the thing is, all right. So let's talk about if you're talking about modeling a system. So let's provide then.
What do you mean by like system, though?
Well, such as cognitive functions. Cognitive functions is modeling a system of agents interacting with each other in a common external physical field with the capacity to have thoughts internally and physical sensations internally, and to express those things externally and to take action in the external world. So it's like modeling the interactions and being methodologies of humans is an example of a system that gets modeled.
So by system, do you mean like the sort of marking the complexities of objects like interacting with one another?
All right. Well, first, let's say that any kind of model of anything that's worth modeling is either simply a representation of a physical object, like I was saying, or if you're talking about something more complicated, then what you're talking about is something that involves fields, objects, and vectors at the minimum, okay? Which means there has to be some sort of exercising of directionality, force, movement, whatever change in the system. That's the vector. The objects, some of them can be agents, for example, those that can execute action. Regardless, if you don't have a field, object, vector kind of a setup, then you're not really modeling anything complex, because complex things have processes that evolve over time.
Okay,
rules.
Okay,
you know?
No, I get what you're saying. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. I get what you're saying. Yeah, I agree.
But here's the problem with your defining intelligence is that. So I'm extremely good at modeling shit like that. Okay, very good at it. Also, it has to do with the fact that I have a creative function first. Now, if you're saying the most intelligent people are those who can most successfully model something that's currently unmodeled, then you're going to highly prioritize extroverted intuition and introverted thinking over every other kind of intelligence. So if you want to do that,
I'm not differentiating based off of whether it's unmodeled or not. Or are you saying like unmodeled in reference to you, like you haven't modeled it yet?
Well, what I'm saying is if you're asking somebody to repeat back to you a model they've learned elsewhere, that's different than asking them to make a model of something.
Right, okay, I see.
And so for them, they have to not know what the existing model is to test their ability to model something.
Right.
So that's what I mean by unmodeled, heretofore unmodeled, from their perspective. They may have been modeled by people before, but they can't know what it is.
Right. And you said there was a problem with that because of why again?
Well, because first of all, I would point out that's not what IQ tests currently test at all. But second of all, I'm not quite sure how you would test that.
I want to say one thing is that like I actually have a lot of problems with basically the current constructions of IQ tests. So like I just
okay, fine. I get it. You're not defending the current IQ test. I understand. My bad. Okay, so I would just say that that's a very challenging thing to measure when you're asking somebody to be creative and generate. Like, for example, let's say I were to generate a model, a grand theory of everything, and I were extroverted intuition, introverted feeling. I might come up with something like the paper that Matt Cut came up with, which was just pure nonsense, pure gobbledygook, very creative and sort of pretending to model something, but not doing any of the logical work. that makes it actually meaningful. In contrast, I could produce a model and it would be actually meaningful. Does that mean that Matt Acut is dumb and I'm intelligent, or is it we're both equally intelligent because we both modeled in some capacity, even though one is done poorly and one is done well?
Well, that's why I actually made the distinction. I actually wrote this. I made the distinction between creativity and intelligence by referencing in that, like with intelligence, it's only dealing with data that's objective, while with creativity, it can deal with both data that's objective and subjective. So in terms of who's more intelligent, that would be you. But in terms of who's more creative, it could be. Well, that's the thing. We wouldn't actually be able to measure that.
Okay, so I mean, the thing is, if you want to say it's processing objective data that makes one intelligent, then you still have another problem, which is you've got objective data, which is a broken gate that needs to be fixed, which is objective data that works according to a certain system that you can figure out if you look at it and problem solve. Or you've got objective data like words that are laid out as arguments and how people respond to those and whether they're on point, responsive, hearing the warrants or whatever, you know? So those are two kinds of objective data, and there are different kinds of intelligence that do well in either of them. My ISTJ friend does fantastic in the first kind of intelligence and not so fantastic in the second. Should we call him more intelligent than me? Well, it depends which kind of intelligence you prioritize. So
can you highlight that difference again?
Okay, so objective data comes in two forms, right? There's objects that are word and meaning objects that we can all access. Say a book comprises objective data because we can all read it and we can all analyze it independently and make our own conclusions about it. That's what makes it objective data. If it were my own feelings and only I could access those, that's subjective data. So anyway, but there's another kind of objective data. I've got a plumbing problem right now. My fixture is broken. And so the thing is, the objective data is, how do I fix this plumbing problem? What's wrong with it? I could look at it and determine whether it needs to be replaced, or if I can just replace one piece of it, or, you know, and there's a few problems that I see, but because I don't have a clear understanding of how plumbing works in general, or don't pay much attention to it, and don't want to pay attention to it, I might be able to solve the plumbing problem myself, but instead I'm calling the plumber. Whereas if it were a legal matter, if somebody sent me legal documents, there's no way in hell I would engage a lawyer to help me analyze it. I would just do it myself.
Right. I think I get what you're saying in terms of the difference. What I would say to that is pretty much that I think the latter form that you're talking about in terms of dealing with objects would be more so in reference to like how you would utilize your intelligence to basically like solve problems.
But they're different kinds of problems.
How it is that you want to.
They're fundamentally different kinds of problems. One is ordinal and the other is conditional. So when I'm trying to fix stuff that relates to objective data in the physical world, those problems are ordinal. There's an order of operations that is critical. If I first put down the meow, and then the meow, and then the meow, and it turns out I needed to put down part A before I put down the first meow, then I got to undo the whole thing and start over. It doesn't work like that in conditionality. So if I'm reading the legal document and I interpret a given sentence as meaning meow, I can also say, well, it could mean either meow or meow. And then that's my conclusion about it. It's conditional, and that's a good enough conclusion. They can either argue meow or they can argue meow. We'll have to see. That's fine. That's solving that problem in its realm of solvency. However, solving the doorknob that way is not going to help. Like if the doorknob's broken.
I mean, but the thing is like you're like within intelligence, it's not you're not applying like a problem. It's simply just measuring the particular like the capacity in terms of how it is used in either case. You can frame it within like a particular problem or.
Okay, but the thing is, the capacity is going to differ substantially. It's not just the same intelligence applied to either the physical system or the metaphysical system. It's a kind of intelligence that's suitable to the ordinality of the physical world or the conditionality of the metaphysical world. And they're not the same kind of intelligence. One's TE, one's TI. And so they don't cross over. It's not like If I applied myself to the plumbing problem, I'd be just as good at it as my ISTJ friend. It's not that way at all. My TE doesn't work like that. My TE is not very ordinally minded. It's trial and error. It assumes that I can try this and it doesn't work. I just go back and try the other thing. It operates as though the world were conditional instead of causal, which is silly. So okay. I don't think that works. But the end conclusion of this is I don't think that which processes objective data works as a definition for intelligence.
Okay, so can you show me how like that distinction? Because I haven't really thought about that. How that distinction pretty much like collapses that, or you're saying like it given that it fails to entail like either one, that therefore it's incomplete.
I'm saying that a test that tested your intelligence on objective data that was of the physical world would be a completely different test than a test that tested your intelligence in the metaphysical world. And that if you have people take both, that they would score very well on one of them potentially and very poorly on the other. And very rarely would you have anybody score well on both. So in that regards, I'm saying that the manner of approaching things that are fundamentally ordinal and causal, which is to say, I have to go in a certain order of operations or else I fuck it up, and or I have to do it right or else I might break it, and then I have to go get a new piece and blah, 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 blah. That's a world where you can't undo, where things are not conditional. But the world of time objects or words, the conversation we're having right now, this is all conditionality. So you can make an assertion, you can hear my response, and then you can reconsider that assertion and maybe come back later with a different assertion that's adjusted accordingly or something, right? That's because this is conditional land. It's not causal land. You don't have to actually tear down a house to build a new one. You just say, let's pretend the house is torn down and rebuild a new one, and that's good enough.
And so, okay, so what if I just expanded the basis of modeling toward that? That would make it so that it would fit both of those realms in which you could deal with objective data.
Okay, well, I mean,
I just don't.
The thing is, what you'd end up with then is this: you'd end up with a test that ranks most high those people who are mediocre at both things, and lower people who are good at one but bad at the other.
Well, I mean, but at that point, it just leads to a what's the word? It's a quantitative thing. It's like, okay, so I actually listed this as well. I think because you're right, it's right here. So you had said once, so basically you said if person X does the best in vector Y, but the worst in vector Z, person M does better in vector Z, but the worst in vector Y, and person U does medium in both, who is the smartest. Is that basically like the same point you're making now?
Yeah.
I would just say, yeah, they're just all equally intelligent, essentially.
Okay, but so then that's fine. But then what you're saying is that intelligence isn't anything specific. That, in fact, if we could include the test to also include every other form of intelligence, and we were to measure all forms of intelligence, that in fact, almost everybody would be equally intelligent, because everybody is to be highly powered in one thing means to be lowly powered in another thing. So I'm very poor at my interested calculus. We don't have a test for that because that's not considered intelligence, because that's your feelings. That's subjectivity, right?
Wait, but that's precisely the point, though. If it's the fact that you're being intelligent, wait, hold on. If it's the point that you being intelligent makes you bad at not being able to do other things that aren't considered intelligent, then I don't really see how that.
Okay, well, what I'm saying is that you've now expanded intelligence to include two very distinct things, okay? And you're saying we'll just measure them both, and that person who scores high on one is equally intelligent as person who scores high on the other is equally intelligent as person who scores medium on both. Now, let's say I need somebody to fix my fence. I'm using the IQ score. I pick the one that has Oh, this person has a high IQ score. Great. But I got the wrong kind of IQ score. I got the legal document and I need the fence fixing kind. But there's no reason according to your test, there's no reason to differentiate between them. But to the extent that it doesn't differentiate between them, then it's not telling you anything meaningful.
Okay. You know what? Fair enough. I actually do agree with that. Yeah, fair enough.
Cool. Well, that was pleasant. You're pleasant to talk to. I don't mind you not. I don't mind you disagreeing either. It's just that you agree or disagree, reasonably. This isn't like you're insistent on being about shit. A lot of times I deal with people. I don't know if you're familiar with the tendency towards
What do you mean by meow?
I mean, they want to come in and just not really talk about things and respond to what's being said, but just position themselves as meow, like that.
Oh, okay, I get what you mean. No, yeah, like the reason why I set up the video, whatever, is to do the exact opposite of that. Because when we were talking in the little forum thing, like it was just really hard for me to respond to you because like I'd be looking in the comments and then you'd be responding. I don't know if you're talking to me, and then I have to play the video back.
I also want to tell you something. This is largely my bad because although I can't exactly be blamed for it, you see, I get a lot of people who come in and they're very combative, and most of them try to start off by sort of positioning themselves as reasonable, and then I sometimes err on the side of thinking people are being just combative when actually they're not being just combative. They just want to actually talk about the subject and they're not agreeing with me, and that's fine. But it's like I can't really tell in the chat, so that's my bad. I assumed you were interested primarily in combat rather than talking shit out. And of course, to the extent that you've got good ideas, I'm happy to hear them and incorporate them. To the extent that you're right about shit, that's not a problem for me. I don't mind being wrong about stuff. But I just, I think when it comes to this stuff, I'm not making any particularly bold claims. I'm just saying an IQ test is what it is. And that I find it of questionable use for any particular instance, although possibly good at predicting correlations with success on certain vectors. So obviously, people have done a lot of studies showing that higher IQ tests mean higher IQ scores mean you're going to be able to succeed at better kinds of jobs or stuff like that. I don't doubt that that's true demographically, but I don't see how it's useful on any individual level without sort of oppressing the individual and reducing them to the score on a test when they may in fact be competent well beyond what their score suggests, or well below what their score suggests.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that was pretty much it. Yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
Anything else you want to talk about? What's going on with you? You got a hot chick you're trying to make the moves on?
Nah, definitely not.
Named Julie? Yeah. She's playing hard to get, huh? Julie's playing hard to get. Well, let me tell you something. This is what you do. You be like, hey, Julie, sup? Hey, girl. That always works. Okay. For all
I don't really have any problems talking with girls. I mean, like when I was like homeless, I used to like there was like one time I stopped a chick when she was in her car, got her number and stuff, and then there was other time I like interrupted these group of girls. They were like eating ice cream or something, and then one of them got me ice cream. So it was, it's not really a problem.
What you're saying is you're big pimping all the time.
No, it's not even that either. It's just the females are just not my main concern right now.
Right. Rachel and I concluded earlier today that we were medium pimping. We're working towards big pimping, but we're still medium pimping. But I
Makes sense.
think we were
Yes.
small pimping not that long ago. I think we moved up to medium small pimping.
Yeah.
Eventually, we're going to get to medium, then medium large pimping, and then finally large pimping, and then super finally big pimping. It says.
I mean, I would say if you want to pimp successfully, the best thing to do is to find as many ISFPs as possible to pimp, and to get an ISTP to stable them, essentially.
Oh, I'm talking about
Yes,
metaphorical
ISTP
pimping. I'm only talking about metaphorical pimping, not literal pimping.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You see, in my metaphorical pimping, it just involves basically me driving around in a fancy car looking cool.
So, what is it a metaphor for?
It's a metaphor for being rad, of course. When you're super rad, you're big pimping. Now, maybe the hip hop talk people, maybe they mean something, unnecessarily sexual about it, but I don't mean anything like that. I'm just saying, hey, look at me. I'm important, like Jay-Z.
Right.
Isn't he the one who sang that song?
Yeah, he did.
He was the one who sang that song.
Oh, I'm not too familiar with Jay-Z's songs, so fair enough.
Yeah.
This is just a chicken man.
You could also say that the equivalent is when Rachel and I smash in the Rari, then we'll be big pimping. Right now,
that sounds uncomfortable.
Well, I mean, it's got to be more comfortable than smashing in the Mini Cooper.
Aren't you really tall? Like you're 6'4"?
I am 6'4". I'm gonna get a big Rari. That's why, extra large Rari.
Big Rari. True. You could get do they have trucks? I was thinking of one.
I think they might have a Rari SUV now. Do they? They need a Rari minivan.
I'm not sure.
For your rappers, once they start their families, you need a Rari minivan. Let's talk a little bit about everybody's favorite dead rapper, and that is, of course, what's his name?
Are you talking about the most recent one?
No, I'm talking about the one who had 11 children by 10 different women. What was his name again?
I don't know.
That's like all of them.
No, this dude.
He
set the record for.
He was really. What happened was this: he tried to go and learn about contraception, but he struggled with that unit in his health book. He struggled mightily with it. He didn't quite understand how to use it. He kept trying to put the condoms on his fingers. Before he knew it, he had 11 kids by 10 different women. And his name was Shody Low. Shody Low. That's right. I remembered it. Shody Low.
Good job, you won.
Yeah. Shody Low made love to many women. One of them he had two babies with, though. I'm sure he made very loving love too. Each of those women was hugely important to him. I have no doubt. Maybe they were all part of a polyamorous dozen. When you get a fully polyamorous relationship, it's you plus 11 chicks. Flava Flav also has been known to be a little bit promiscuous, to place his genitals places where I wouldn't place them. Who is the best rapper of all time? I'm going to go with Eminem, I think. It's not that tough of a call, really. But, obviously some of his stuff ages less well than others. I was a fan of Ice Cube back when he was with NWA, but that's again very old school. Some of it ages more well than other stuff. I'm a lot like Warren G and Nate Dogg. I have to regulate. I'm out there regulating rappers all the time. Who do you think the best rapper of all time is? Coop Bronzo. And who's your favorite musician? Oh. I didn't like Ice Cube's solo stuff very much. It's too Nation of Islam. You know, not that it takes a lot of Nation of Islam to be too Nation of Islam. You know, a thimbleful of Nation of Islam is plenty, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
Wu-Tang was good. I mean, I liked De La Soul back in the day.
Oh, I like De La Soul.
Who wouldn't like De La Soul? I liked. I currently like that lady. Young Unique.
Dominique Young Unique.
Dominique Young Unique. She's great. I highly recommend Dominique Young Unique. She's probably an SFP rapper, I would guess. It's not like her lyrics are full of clever words. It's just they're jams. Like her songs are jams. Shake My Ass is just a jam and a half.
Mm-hmm.
I would go as far as to call it 2 full jams.
Oh my gosh, it is 2 full jams.
And also there's a song called F That S, which is Fudge That Stuff. And that song is also very good. She's got a really good producer.
Oh yeah. Yes, she does.
The beats underneath things are like just going off in all directions. And like every time you're like settled on a thing and you go, okay, that's cool. It switches up and then something else is cool, you know, so you never get bored. Punch me. Hi. I will not punch you. I refuse. I am a man of nonviolence. Pow! I was lying. I just punched you. If an eye drop of lol. What's an eye drop of lol? Is it nitrous oxide infused Visine? What happened to the debate? It ended. He went away, I guess. I don't know. It was here, then I asked him a question, he was gone. So I'm not looking at that tab. I don't know what's going on over there in that crazy old tab. No, I'm not a man of incredible violence. I only have the capacity to do martial arts when I am Chinese. I do get karate then. Some people have mentioned the karate's Japanese, not Chinese. I said, hey, who's a Chinese person around here? Me. Who should know? Me. That usually shuts them up. I say, listen, insert, you know. Okay, so fair enough that ultimately does put a dagger in my definition of terms of being meaningful. I mean, it's not utterly meaningless. It's just it's mostly meaningful for sort of demographic predictions rather than any specific instance. Okay, Chase McDude, why don't you leave a comment or something that says, hey, Eric really wants to debate you about whatever. He doesn't care what. Okay? Nice, Rachel. Nice. That reminds me of my duty, my solemn duty. I'm right now not doing my solemn duty because my solemn duty is to pull some bar reps. I might have to actually email them. God, Chase McDude. Fine, I'll do this sort of stuff pretty soon, okay?
I can't wait to have my phone back so I can go through your stuff and be like, can I be real? Like, I honestly like that part of like our relationship that I can go through your correspondence. The only time that I have boundaries set is really with Jeffrey's mom, because like after 9 o'clock, I'm out.
Well, Jeffrey's mom has got no shame in the game.
No.
Jeffrey's mom will call me 50 times in a day about her child's academic concerns. But, you know, you don't like Dominique, she seems phony. Well, whatever about the person. I mean, don't look at it then. Just listen to it. Eric, you know, people may argue that you being close with your family is evidence you're an ISFJ. I mean, it's funny to be called close with my family.
I'm scratching my head.
I find that very nice to hear. Thank you for saying that. I am unfortunately, I mean, close in some sense. Like there's definitely a indisputable blood is thicker than water thing going on, but it's not like any of us hang out together or anything really. Like my dad, I go in there and say, "Want to watch the football game, Dad?" And he goes, "Son, what's wrong with your TV?" So, you know, I try to be close to my dad as best I can.
You do a good job. You do put a good effort.
I
Seriously.
try. I try my
I'm
best.
telling you. I'm always thinking it's a great idea too.
It seems like I think this one he's gonna for sure like. If he didn't come up with the idea, he doesn't like the idea. Period. That's all there is to it. Will I have cake for my 50th birthday party? I would like to get a weed cake for my 50th birthday party.
Ooh, that sounds cool.
I mean, not unless you want to eliminate people who by and large would normally qualify as intelligent.
Oh, kitty meow. I think you like to dance. So you just decided that because you're always in that corner. Oh, such an ISFP. She really is.
Weed grass eater. I want my cake to be made out of marijuana. Okay, that's cool. I wasn't thinking nothing about nothing. Do you get insurance for smashing a Rari? No, smashing in the Rari. For everybody who wants to know about the world and the truth and the glory and the wonder, hear me now. Tomorrow's Mile High Club is smashing in the Rari Club. I appreciate the chance to talk to you too. It was a very nice conversation. Yeah. We were both very, we listened to each other and said the thing or whatever. Who's DLR? Why is his penis so in danger? And what's he doing with it all the time that he needs to insure it? DLR. Who's DLR? David Lee Roth, huh?
Oh.
You know, hey, have you guys heard this? Do you guys know this? You know that former YouTuber, Jake Paul and Logan Paul? You know the two former YouTubers, Jake and Logan Paul? They are both boxers now. And the first professional match for Logan Paul was a boxing match against, what was that guy's name again? KIZ? KIR? KSI. KSI. Thanks, Chris M. Thank you. KSI. And I watched that boxing match. It was great. It was really exciting. Jake Paul destroyed the guy he was up against. Jake Paul made very short work of that. Jake Paul's the better boxer, I think. Mm-hmm. But Logan Paul is a bigger guy. But Jake Paul's got better defense, you know. It's totally worth watching those fights on that DNZ whatever boxing channel. They've got some cool full fights you can watch. They've got like, you know, a lot of boxing shit. You can't see the good stuff because it's all pay-per-viewed out for it, you know. Well, I just saw it, Grass Eater. Okay, it's new to me. May have happened ages ago. It happened like a year ago. It wasn't that long ago. Ericam Strausslohn. Have I ever been in a fight? Yeah, I've been in fights before. My most notable fight, I was fighting against Steve Holmes as an adult. I got sucker punched. You know, he walked up to the open window of my car. I'm like, "Hey, Steve." I didn't know he was gonna punch me. He sucker punched me and then continued to punch me like through the open window of the car as I tried to struggle to get out. I got out and I tried to throw a punch or two, and in short order I was knocked out. And then I woke up looking up at the sky, going, "What the fuck happened?" And then I remember what happened, and I saw him inside my friend's house. So I ran at him like a free safety, and I tackled him, and I pushed his head into the drywall. And then he got up and ran and went to his girlfriend's car and locked himself in the car. And I considered picking up a big rock and smashing the window of his car, but then I thought better of it. So that was that. I guess you could say I lost the fight probably overall. After all, I got knocked out. I guess he broke my nose. It's been a little differently shaped ever since. But he didn't break it a whole lot. You once jumped your backyard fence to beat the shit out of your neighbor who was beating on his wife? Good for you, Chris M.
Yeah, that is.
Instant justice.
That is instant justice.
Have I been in a brawl? No, I don't think so. I don't think I've been in anything that would qualify as a brawl. I've been in a couple of fights as a kid as well. You know, children
brawls?
Children fight each other. Back in the day, we did anyway. It was sort of like during the unsupervised time. And back when I was a child, people were unsupervised from the end of school until 6 p.m. or so when their parents got home from work. No, I've never been in a multi-person fight like that. I've as an adult never sought out and have actively avoided physical confrontations of that sort. I mean, which is to say, actually, I haven't really actively avoided, but I have the position that if I were to be hit in the face or something, that I would make an effort not to fight back, and unless I felt as though I were going to continue to be attacked or whatever. At which point, that's why I carry my kniffy, which is around here somewhere, if I had to or something. And would you have done the same if it was a wife beating on her husband? No, probably not. It would depend how badly it was being beaten. What's the most violent type? Probably one of the STPs, I would guess. I mean, I would suspect those are types that are most often in jail. What did I like more, 7th or 8th grade? Well, 7th maybe. I think I like 7th better.
7th heaven.
Back when throwing rocks at people and shooting them with BB guns was just all in good fun. I mean, we didn't do that stuff that I recall, but you know, I mean, mostly we played around. We rode our bikes around or whatever. But occasionally there were after-school fights, and you knew that once school was over, the adults were done for the day. And it's like you could practically count on the teachers driving past 2 children fighting after school. It's after school, not my fucking problem. You know, it was just like that. You know. It was the 70s, it was the 80s, early 80s or whatever. Late 70s, early 80s. It was a different time.
Yeah.
7th grade was horrible for you, bullied and wore the popular girls' hand-me-downs. I'm sorry to hear that, Michelle.
I had a tough 7th grade too, Michelle Lee. I came from a smaller school, and I really cared about my grades, and I was very introverted, and my mom made me this letter to like tell the teachers that I had an ear problem, so I would sit in the front of the class. It was so embarrassing. 7th grade was rough.
Delilah had a rough time in middle school. Fortunately, I was there at the school. She could come sit in my classroom and stuff when things were going badly. But it's remarkable how little you can do as a parent, even if you're at the school, even if you're doing everything you can do. It's all because kids have their own economy, and to the extent that you try to interfere with it too much, it has its impacts in that economy, and it's complicated.
Yeah. Yeah, back in the 1920s, it was no joke. It's true. Curious, Kara. I've seen the stats. You were the one, Curious, Kara? I've heard those speakeasies in New York.
So that Al Capone guy was just a fall guy, huh? It was just Curious Kyra's fall guy. Curious Kyra was the real boss the whole time. Have you had liquids? Yeah, I've been drinking liquids. I've got liquids.
Do you have liquids? Have you had liquids, Octavia Soda? And which liquids have you had? What liquids?
Capone. I mean, my parents cared, but my experience with childhood problems was that by and large, there was never any point and no solvency to be found, and even talking to my parents about it. I might get sympathy, which to me was useless because I'm bipolar, or I might get TE advice, which I didn't like because I remember one time talking about it, my dad teaching me like martial arts moves, but he just didn't get that as an intuitive, my problem wasn't an inability to do meow, meow, meow. It was an inability to transition from a world of words to a world of physicality. It seemed, I don't know. I'm not sure if I was even exactly scared, although I'm sure I was. I'm not sure if that's why I had so much trouble converting to a world of physicality. Eventually, there were moments when I did, and like in 7th grade, I think, or in 8th grade, there was this kid who was trying to bully me by standing in front of my locker and not letting me get to it because his locker was like next to mine or something. And he did it a couple of times, and then one time I was very angry when he did it, and I put my hand like this against his throat and started choking the shit out of him against the locker, and until a teacher came and stopped me, which is probably a good thing. So I was pretty mad. And anyway, so in any dom is at a cognitive disadvantage compared to an SE dom when it comes to physical activities. Not necessarily when it comes to physical activities, but it's the decision-making part of SE that I think I had so much trouble with, the decisiveness. Oh yeah, I did. And he never bothered me again. That was the last of that. That was, a moment when I just went, I went SE. I didn't think about it. It was done before it even occurred to me. See, maybe I might do that or anything. It wasn't planned or anything like that. So, that's an example of how eventually I got more SE and understood what it meant. But it wasn't until I was able to understand it abstractly, really, that I understood the need and importance of being able to physicalize things. By the time I sort of had that all under conception, I was kind of too late to take advantage of the knowledge, I guess. I remember there was this one dude when I was in my mid-20s who he was one of those people who just didn't seem to like me very much because I don't know why, And for example, he insisted like he could beat me at basketball. And so we had a match, and supposed to be best 2 out of 3 games, and I beat him on a fairly close game in the first game, and I whooped his ass in the second game, and like almost near the end, he's like, "Okay, I concede, you win." And so it's like that's the sort of thing that I insisted on like going, yeah.
See, if you could do that, you could be president.
Thanks. So somebody here asked, what do I do to keep fit? Well, I don't do anything intentionally to keep fit, but I do some things that help me to keep fit. For example, Rachel and I go on bicycle rides sometimes.
Yeah.
That always gets me my heart pumping, my blood moving, and so forth.
Sometimes we go on walks and take pictures.
Mm-hmm. Additionally, we have sexual intercourse, which
We do.
even though by the end of it, even if I'm trying to be lazy, I'm still usually very winded. Because you end up
Physical activity.
Yeah. Let's see. The alcohol I smuggled people was subject to differing qualities, unfortunately. Sometimes it was horrible alcohol, and sometimes it was top notch. No one ever complained. A whole generation of blind people have their blindness for you to thank for their blindness, Curious Kyra. You and your wood alcohol. So, let's see here. Demon 8th slot. How does my Demon 8th slot play out? I don't like those terms, demon, hero, whatever. My 8th slot function plays out as an unconscious, underappreciated tool function. It is a necessary precondition of my extroverted intuition attaining extroverted feeling outcomes. In other words, if I can do the shit I need to do to make my words go out to as many people as possible, then I'm maximally going to attain my FE outcomes of people paying attention to me and saying, "Oh, wow, Eric, you're so smart." So I am getting tired now. What were my grades like in school? My attitude towards academia in general? My grades were pretty good. My attitude was like always stressed out, like always worried about assignments that I had to do. And it was always worried precisely because I doubted my ability or willingness to actually follow through and do them, not because they were difficult. The only thing I particularly found difficult, and I found it more laborious than difficult, was chemistry. I found chemistry just like, it's made me want to vomit the whole time I was in chemistry. Just a continual semester of projectile vomiting throughout the entire chemistry lecture every day for an entire semester. Ooh. You can imagine how much weight I lost that semester.
Yeah.
But chemistry is definitely TE. It's like the most TE it like retains a certain shimmer of TI in its word-basedness, or symbol-basedness, but it's all, yeah. It's like, okay, what are you again? Because I really don't like you. Oh, your chemistry? No, please don't crawl on my feet. No, get away, please. Chemistry, just fuck off, okay? That's my attitude towards chemistry.
I passed the Regents with a 75. I was like, hallelujah.
Rachel, that's impressively average.
I'm in school, I was impressively average.
Nice job.
Thank you.
That's something to be proud of because, it's not easy to be successfully average at things. Like some things I'm, terrible at. Like I probably did worse in chemistry than Rachel. All right, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna meow the meow here.
Oh, yeah, we gotta go.
In the stream because we gotta watch the USC football game in 15 minutes. I
We
am
wanna
getting
rip.
sleepy as well. We want to pull some reps. So
All right.
I will see you on the proverbial flip flop, everybody. Thank you for being here. If you were part of this very first ever Twitch live stream, I want you to just go ahead and congratulate yourself right now. Just give yourself a hand. Say, hey, I did a great thing. I was here. And that makes me special. Goodbye. Goodbye. Good night. Good night. Indeed, indeed.